first tick that we're getting on the index. It is well in the green, 80 points higher now on the Nifty. Whether it sustains, we'll get to know in a while, but for now, the first tick is positive. It's led largely by HDFC Life after that overhang is removed, so 6.5% higher. Wipro on that buyback is up 1.5%. ICICI Bank on strong numbers is up about 2%, and Reliance on good numbers and no further debt elevation is up almost about 1.5%. Apart from that, HCL Tech, Apollo Hospitals, IndusInd Bank ahead of its numbers today is in the green. So these are some stocks that are well in the green. The mid-cap index, by the way, is trending in the red. So there's a little bit of volatility in the broader markets. On the downside, Sun Pharma, Ekta was telling us about, the issues there, down 2.5%. Divi's, Dr. Reddy's are all in the red. In fact, the entire pharma piece is taking a bit of a backseat this morning. TCS is also under a bit of pressure. Power Grid, Bajaj Finserv, Britannia, Bajaj Auto are a couple of other stocks that are in the red. ITC is also, just stepped back a bit, so down about 0.3%. Nothing alarming there, but otherwise, it's a market that's giving up on its gains a little bit. The drag, as I said, is coming from pharma, but from the heavyweights, the drag is Infosys, TCS. So IT continues to keep a lid on the market's gains. M&M, Maruti Suzuki, Tata Motors are a couple of other stocks that are in the red this morning. So, given how good the cues were, it's not a great opening, to be honest.
Well, that's right. Sonia, we're up 40 points from the high point of the day on the Nifty. Pat off the bat, and chasing that opening wouldn't have been very advisable. The Nifty Bank, that's going to be the crucial moving factor today. It's come off close around 100 points from the day's high. The high was closer around 42,470. You needed to get past that 42,500, 42,600. Resistance was met last week at both these two levels. So let's see whether or not we can get past that. Moving to individual stocks, Ami Organics, that stock is flying away. It's been a relative outperformer in the last 1 month or so. They've acquired 55% stake in Baba Fine Chem. They forayed into the semiconductor industry. The stock is up close to around 2.3%. Going by the press release, it appears that margin-wise, it'll be accretive, and obviously EPS-wise as well, it'll be accretive. Maharashtra Seamless, they're backed an order worth close to 260 crores, so those order wins continue from ONGC. That stock is opened up in the green. Sri Digvijay Cement, well, they've got an environment clearance for expansion of its manufacturing facilities. So, that's an important one that we're looking at. And we have some news that's coming in there. JM Financial Home Loans and Indostar Capital, they have explored for potential strategic options. So let's get both those two stocks up for you on the screen. So though the headline index has come off a little bit from the top, individual stocks have done quite well today.
Nigel, 30 points now, right? I mean, so this is a fair bit of comeback that we've seen already. But this is, the first act in what could be a multi-act, kind of day. But for now, we've come off quite a bit. The high is, 17,709. And we've come off about 50, 60 odd points already. Let me just take a quick look at any other sort of names in the broader market which sort of Warren mentioned. So HDFC Life, of course, is the big one, as we've been highlighting. 7.25% higher. Raymond is up about 6% or so. That's coming up at about 1,583 rupees on Raymond. Decent sized volumes. There is HBL Power, which is coming up with about a 4.25% gain. Small name, but big volumes at this point in the day. Macrotech, the management joins us in a bit, 2% higher, 927. There is Persistent Systems, which is up about 1%, 1.25%. ICICI Pru was the last from the ICICI stable, the insurance company, to report numbers where the management with us. ICICI Lombard this morning is up about 1.9 or actually 2% or so in ICICI Lombard. Mirza International, I was talking about this on Friday. It's up another 8% this morning. Stocks at 65 or 66. And there is Indigo Paints, which is up another 4% after the move that we've seen. I think Thursday and Friday, both Indigo Paints did quite okay. So 2:1 is the overall advanced decline ratio. And these are some of the big volume-led gains that we've seen. On the downside, Zomato is coming up with a 2% cut. Sun Pharma, we mentioned. Yes Bank, we mentioned, I think 2.5 lower. Adani Green is down about 1.7%. Adani Green at about 900. And there is Dr. Reddy's, which is down about 1.25% or so as well. PVR is down 1%. So things are moving around. Maybe we'll have more in a bit. I can spot PI Industries, which is down about 1.5% as well. So 31.45 on PI Industries. Hindustan Zinc is another one, which is down about 2.75% at about 315, 316. So volumes are still picking up. The market, which was which sold off to being up only 30 points, is up about 45, 50 points now. So as I said, I think things will move around a little bit before they finally settle down. 17,675 or so is 17,675 is where the Nifty finds itself at.
What does it take for this market to to come alive, right? I mean, you had everything today. You had Reliance, ICICI Bank, HDFC Life, Wipro.
35% of the index reacting to positive news flow of the weekend, but
even then.
But I'll tell you, guys, it didn't look, looking at all the numbers and everything, right? I was making this point that not that as if there's been huge earnings upgrades or anything, right? Across all these three names. We were mostly talking about the two earnings, ICICI and Reliance.
Yeah.
So it was that the sense was that maybe it'll get a flourish of a start and then maybe a little bit of a pullback. But let's see. I mean, the market, bulls and bears will try and test the waters to see how much of this holds one way or the other. So you don't want to push it too hard if the momentum is in the other side, and that's why usually it takes about an hour and a half for a market which is coming into with big numbers, earnings reactions to finally settle down and find some sort of equilibrium for the day.
Just one point. We're talking about the headline index. It's been a bit of a range, but the last few days, the mid-cap and the small-cap indices have started underperforming. And we had a good party in the first couple of weeks of April. So I'd like to see that come back, into form, because that's when portfolios feel good. And the last few days, we have seen some bit of underperformance coming in from the mid and the small-cap index. But